Perfect.
So today we are going to speak about something that nobody speak about, and especially women don't speak about it. However, Florentina decided to speak about it. Let's speak about the beast inside men and the masculinity that has disappeared and how much other women complain about men. Florentina, could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Hi, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm Florentina Gionea and I'm a spiritual life coach for men. And I decided to work with men because I know in every man there is a beast, that power, that energy. And I want to make sure that they awaken that power and use it for good.
And why did you decide to work for men or with men, not with women?
I think men need support, not help. I think men are really amazing beings and they can do magic. The only thing that they need to do is to know, open up and realize that there is more than they already know. So when you open your mind and ask yourself, what's my next best move? How can I access my best potential? All those stuffs are just coming up alive, and if you are not prepared to meet that powerful energy, you can screw it up. So that's why I'm here, to help you to manage it, awaken it, and use it for your best potential.
How did you know that men need support while they did not complain? And I am a witness about that.
I know it's a man thing, like we are perfect, we don't need anything. It's that story that when a woman goes and watch in a mirror, says, I'm so ugly, I'm fat, the dress doesn't look good on me, but she's really sexy. And the man goes in the mirror and he's fat with belly and he says, oh my God, I'm so beautiful and confident. So actually it's the same thing. So it's not like I'm trying to find negative things or flaws to men, but I'm here to show them there is a better way.
And how did you know that they need support?
Usually there are men who are writing me. They say, hey, Florentina, I see you do this. Please help me with this advice, or tell me how should I behave in this situation, or are just simply men who are looking for evolution. So they reach out, and as I study the masculine behavior, the masculine energy, I understand their needs beyond the things they ask me. So I'm there to give them the best.
Did women complain about men as
Oh,
usual?
women a lot complain about men, and that's why this is one of small why I have chosen to work with men, because women um, have difficulties in communicating with men, and men have difficulties in understanding women. I have guys texting me their conversation with women, and they say, why did she got upset? I did nothing wrong. And when I read the text, I'm like, there are 5 things that you have done wrong in one paragraph. He's like, really, show me. And I'm showing him step by step what actually was happening, because women are testing men constantly. Women are just throwing up things to see how you react, to test you, to see your limits, to see if you can be controllable, to see if they can manipulate you. And if they can, then you're not so interested for them anymore.
And why do you do that, women? For God's sake.
Oh my God, for God's sake. There are 2 ways. One way is that I need to be in control and empowered because I don't believe myself as a woman. And the second one, it's a beneficial one. I test you as a man, so I make sure you don't give up in hard times. So actually, it's a bad thing, but also a good thing at the same time.
So my question is like with millions and billions of relationships and the happy households, and then you come at the end and you say there's something wrong. How does this happen?
No, I don't say it's something wrong. I say, is this relationship going well? Yes, perfect. There is any way you can improve it? Yes, let's do it. Let's take it to that level. I don't look like flaws or something wrong in people. I just look to see people the way they are, And if there is something to improve, I'm there to point out that thing. Because somehow we think we are perfect, but we are not. For example, I think I have a good opinion about myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm so perfect. And when recently I have discovered that I cannot stay away from food, I said, oh my God, I was perfect and now I'm not. I have to fix this. So we need to observe ourselves, because if we had that level of perfection, we wouldn't be on earth. We would be somewhere else.
So my other question is, let's say Romeo died for Juliet, and Mark Antony sacrificed his life for Cleopatra, and then these men like reached the heart of these women and could reach to them, and then after all of these of this legacy, then like you say that men are not until now like good enough with this business.
I don't get it. You have to explain it, because I didn't say that. I said men are amazing and they can be even more.
Okay, so
Maybe
let's
wrong from me.
ask the question another way. You say that men have the beast inside. What does that mean?
That means that every man has a unique power, and that power can be used to create the things that you want in life. For example, maybe you want to create a legacy, or you want to create an empire, or you want to create your business, or you want to make this interview that you take weekly, or you want to make it like it's best ever. You need to awake that energy inside of you. So that's the energy of your soul. That's the power that's within you and needs to get out in order for you to excel. It's not like you have an issue, it's like you're quite asleep, so you need to wake up. But when you wake up, you need to have your things set in order, because if there is trauma, if there is rejection, if there are things that you have inherited from your childhood which are not healthy for yourself, when the beast awakens, it will cause you a lot of problems. So you need to have a clear mind, soul, and body before you awaken the beast.
And what happens after this beast is awakened? Florentina, can
Depends what you want to use it for. You can use that energy for. Yes,
yes,
I
yes.
can hear you very well.
Okay.
You can use it and have more impact. You can use it to have a better relationship and more intimate relationship with your partner. So there you start to access another sexual techniques that men are not aware of. Things that can create more intimacy, more pleasure, more orgasm with your partner. You can use it to create better relationships with your father, your mother, or with your children if you have children. So it's a presence that it's within you. It's more energy that it lies in you, and people are just drawn to you because they see you shine. They see you. You have a power that they don't have, and they want to have that power too. So actually, this shifts your life, and you can create whatever you want with it.
So my question here, how to define that if I have that beast or not?
We all have it. It's not like we don't have it. Men and women have it. But the question is that beast asleep or it's awake? If it's asleep, that means you don't feel alive, you don't feel motivation, you don't feel like you want to do anything. You know you have big plans, you know you can turn the world upside down, but you do nothing about it. You say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start it next year. When you have awakened the beast, but your behavior it's not aligned with your soul, you start to do bad things. Like a man, you become violent, you beat your family, you usually go and take drugs or overuse alcohol. Or if your sexual energy is too strong, you become porn addicted, or your sex life is a mess, so you're all over the place.
So my next question is like, let's say the peace is the way to achieve success and fulfillment. Why and how can men achieve this?
Why? Because they want to be at their best potential. I don't know if we can point any person in this earth who doesn't want to live his best. I didn't find any person to tell me I don't want to live my best. I like to be poor and not understood, and I like to be the way I am. And it's a calling that your soul has, and everybody wants to live their best. So to be able to awaken that beast, you have to do your inner work. You have to understand your own energy to be able to control it. Because when you control the energy, then you control the behaviors, you control the mind, and also you control the emotions. So then you are like more focused, you have more clarity, and you have a plan for what you want to achieve and how to do it.
Yeah, that is quite understandable. That is fine. Let's say about speak about the challenges. What challenges can men meet during this path?
Oh, there are a lot of challenges. The first challenge is the childhood. Many people think, and especially men, if it was in the past, it doesn't matter anymore. But the point is that if it was in the past, it affects you in the present moment if you haven't dealt with that thing. For example, let's say you had a mother who didn't love you. So you just look in every person around you and do everything in your powers to feel loved about of other people, and just the other people just use you, and you still don't feel loved, and you will say I gave everything to these people just to make me feel love or get attention, and it's not happening. And that's why, because in the childhood you didn't receive the love of your mother. And saying like it was in the past, it doesn't matter anymore, is not true. So you need to wake up and go and heal your childhood. Or you were seeking for your father approval. Now when you're an adult and you say okay, that was in the past, it doesn't matter anymore, when you go to work you can't do anything without asking your colleagues approval, or your boss approval, or your wife approval. So if you don't get that approval, you feel that you're not right. You feel that you're not okay, and you feel like something is missing. So you need to stand up and become independent, to mature, to grow up, because it doesn't matter the age that you have, you still have to grow up in energy. And if there are traumas in your childhood or things that really impacted you need to clear those things out from your subconscious mind. Because if you don't, you'll always achieve a level, and when you go to that level something will bounce you back, and you don't understand why are you in this circle, because you're trying to make the things move, but when you reach the same point the life bounces you back. So when you understand what's actually the blockages that it's stopping you to achieve what you want, you go back in time through therapy techniques, and I use a lot of those, and you just clear those blockages, and from there you can move on without any problem.
So throughout your journey, what are your best tips or your main tips for men to improve their lives?
The first step is to ask themselves, what can I do to go to the next level? And is anything that I might do wrong and I'm not aware about it? Because, for example, if I have a couple in therapy, the man says, "Oh, relationship, it's great. I don't understand why we are here." And when the woman starts, she has a long list of things which are not working. And he's shocked because he's like, I thought everything is perfect. But that is because the self-awareness is not set in place. So the first thing to do is to set some awareness around yourself. Maybe writing down every day when you journal, your energy it's shifting, your mindset it's clearing, and you can receive more new beneficial thoughts. So it's not like I'm seeking for something to be wrong with me. I'm checking if I'm okay or there is some things that I need to improve.
So let's speak about improvement. What is your masculine roadmap?
Yeah, there is a roadmap that any man should take. It's a roadmap which helps you to understand where are you in this moment and where do you want to go. For example, today I've been in a call with an amazing guy. He's from India, and we were talking about him. He's a very successful entrepreneur, good-looking guy, and we were talking about his life, and his only focus was on business. And I said, hey, look, on all this talk that we had around, your love life is completely missing. And you being a king, because he's on the king archetype, that's another thing that men should know about them, what's their masculine archetype. You cannot rule the empire and the legacy that you want to create for the people around you if you don't find the right queen for you. Because if you're going to marry with a woman which is not at your level and she cannot keep up with you, she will drag you down and you won't be able to achieve what you want to achieve. He was like, you're right. I never thought about this. So you as a man need to ask yourself, question yourself a bit. What are the main areas of my life and how am I doing in each area? Because if you're focused, for example, only on family, but you have no money for the family, will always be fight there. Everybody will be unfulfilled, and you will be very stressed because you cannot fulfill your duty as a father. Or if you have a lot of money but there is no emotional connection, and your children are fearing you instead of loving you and not just wait for you to come home, there is an issue. So you need to check yourself. There's an exercise that I often do. It's called the wheel of life. And you have to take any area of your life and rate it to see from 1 to 10, how am I in these areas and where do I want to be?
Could you explain a little more about these areas?
Yes, we have 7 main areas. We have self-development, family. We have, in family goes also love life. We have career, we have money, we have health, and also we have spirituality. So these 7 areas, usually you need to rate them to see where are you at. Maybe you are very well in the financial area and you want to step up and have an amazing relationship and have them both. You don't have to choose between them. Maybe you are set up financially, you are set up in your love life, and you feel like your soul wants to evolve. So you go and seek for spirituality. Maybe you have spirituality, but you are a bit overweight and you need to improve your health. So all the time we have something to improve to ourselves. And it's important not to leave any areas behind, because if we leave 1 or 2 behind, those ones are going to drag us back. And we don't want that.
Sure. So my next question here, you mentioned types of men. What are these types?
Types of men.
You mentioned like about the guy you were speaking to, that he was a king and he needed a queen. Are there ministers and soldiers?
No, these are the masculine archetypes that you are asking.
Yeah.
The masculine archetypes are 12, main 12. Main are 4, but there are 12. So I won't dive into the topic because there is a lot to cover. I think we need about 2 or 3 days to talk about this.
Just the main
But,
titles, the main points.
yeah, they are brought in by Carl Jung, which is a famous psychologist. And we have the child, the warrior, we have the magician, and we have the king. So these are the 4 main, but also there are another ones like the creator, the innocent. I won't go deep in any of all of them, but you have to know the main 4. So every man has a main archetype and 1 or 2 secondary. For example, if you are, for example, if you are a lover, which is your main archetype, you also might have king be on the other side. Or if you are king, you also might have lover. So these combinations are very uh, deep rooted in men's DNA. And it's not something like I want it or I don't want to have it. You have it anyway, but you have to discover which one is yours and how do you use it to improve your life. For example, I was working with a man and his main archetype was the magician, and he didn't knew. He was always for example, I was working with a guy and I pointed out that he's a magician. And he said, "Oh my God, since you told me that I'm a magician, I better understand myself. I was doing the same things in the past, but now that I am aware that they are coming from that part of me who can alchemize things, who can make people laugh, who can make things happen, I feel like I understand better myself." So it's really important to know as a man what's your archetype, what are the main virtues that you have, and how can you express those, and also to have a master plan for your life. Women are crazy about men who have a plan because that means they can be leaders. And by the way, we haven't met before. This is the first time when I see you, but I like the way you have that leader energy in you. So since we started our conversation, you were leading my energy as a woman, and I felt it because I felt you strong and I allowed you to lead that energy. In other conversations, when I feel that the man is weak, I take up the lead because I don't have the trust in his energy. But here, seeing that you have that presence in you and that power to lead the conversation, I was okay, I'm safe here to be the woman and let him to be the leader.
Yeah, thank you. Now you stopped me asking questions. So, yeah, so my next question, when can you define a man as perfect?
We are not perfect. Men have this thing that they are perfect, but we are not perfect. We are always evolving. So instead of using the word perfect, I will recommend the men to use I'm an evolved person. I'm an evolved man. And an evolved man means I have overcome my fears, my mindset is clear, and that can be seen in your results. So if your external life doesn't look the way you want it, that means inside things haven't changed.
Okay, so my next question is, it's a challenge for you. You mentioned a while ago that he was a king, that man you were speaking about, and then he needed a queen to be able to balance his life. So my question here. So my question is, you mentioned that the king, sorry, needs a queen. So can the relationships between men and women be, let's say, determined by their position, not by their feelings?
Oh, I see. Being a king and a queen, it's not a position. It's a position in the outside world. But in the inside world, it's a standard that you achieve. It's an energy that is shifting in your inside of you. So that doesn't mean that if you are a king and you're going to marry with a lover woman, it's not going to work. It's going to work. But it depends on the relationship that you want to create. And usually when you marry a woman which is your equal, then you can together create even more results. I will continue. Yeah. So when you are with your equal as a woman, there is no differences of energy between you, and that is going to help you to grow. If one partner is lower in energy than the other partner, the one who is stronger will always have to carry the other one in order to move in life. So when you have these connections and you meet your equal, you set yourself for an amazing life and you don't have to cover the energy that is missing to the partner. So the most important thing here is to understand that king and queen, warrior and lover, or other archetypes, it doesn't have to do with a status that we have outside of us. It's the energy that we have inside of us and we attract. And it's really important to understand that the person that you marry is the most important person in your life, because you're spending a lot of time with that person. And by being together so much time, your energy is mixed. So you need to support each other, to be there, to team up. And for example, if you are a king and you want to create an empire and you have a big vision and you want to change the world, and you go home to your woman and you tell her your vision, and she's like, it's a bullshit, it's not going to work. All that enthusiasm that you have will disappear and the energy will be consumed. And you'll say, yeah, maybe she's right. And you stop from doing what you have to do because you didn't have the right partner to support you.
Let's shift to another point. Why should men be more open to spirituality, in your opinion?
We all should be open to spirituality, and especially men. There is a big trend which started in 2012 where women are meditating, seeking spirituality like crazy. And you know that because you live close to the pyramids and you see a lot of people going there to meditate. And there is a huge difference between men and women as interest in spirituality. And I saw that statistically in numbers. For example, I run events when it was possible, because now it's not because of COVID. And in the room were, let's say, 100 women and 20 men. I thought that maybe that it is a situation at local level in my country, but I started to search online and I saw that in spirituality groups is the same. 80% women, 20% men. And when you go to evolve in the spiritual path, you transform yourself, you shift yourself. You're not the person who you were yesterday, 1 week ago, 1 month ago. So if you're in a relationship and your woman is in the spiritual path and you're not, the chances that you break up are highly increased, because the energy, the frequency in energy is shifting between you, and you won't understand each other. It's like you tune in a radio post and she's on another, and you have different music, different way of dance, different things.
So my other question is, you are being a coach for men. How do men receive or react to the idea that they are being coached about their masculinity and about their peace by a woman?
I'm going to ask you this like very simple. If you want to receive help and your soul knows it, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I had clients in the past who told me, we've been working with um, men in the past, and now we want to try to see how it is to work with a woman. And they were fully amazed at the results that they had. And also, you are born from a woman, which is your mother. So women are giving the energy who is nurturing you. When you have nurture, you have fuel. So it doesn't matter if I'm a woman or a man. The most important thing for men is to achieve his purpose, his target, right?
Yeah.
And as I see, men don't have this problem. I thought there is a problem, but there is not. They are like asking for help, and that's it. Every day I talk to men online, and they are amazing. They open up, they are writing me down. Hey, I saw you do this. Can you help me with that? Can you help me understand my woman? Can you help me create a plan for my life? Can you help me to see why am I blocked and I cannot move forward? So they are asking for help, and that's amazing.
So you are an author. What have you written?
Yeah, I'm an author. In my home country, I have published a book. It's called The Energetic Nutrition of the Human Being. And there I wrote about how can you feed yourself and how can you improve the energy of your food, but also other ways to awake your body, like the 5 elements, also how to feed yourself with energy, how to regulate your nervous system through meditation and so on. But also I have 2 books which are not released yet. They are in draft. One of them, it's a novel, it's a science fiction book, it's for women. And another one, it's a how-to book, and it's dedicated to men. So I cannot wait to publish those two.
Yeah, best wishes with those two. So my other question is, you have founded the Awakened Beast Mentorship. What is that
Yes.
about?
It's a 6 months program where men are joining. It's only for men, not for women. I have to make this clear because when I run events, like I do events, public events with men in rooms, and you can see some pictures on my profile. Women are crazy that they want to be in the room. And I say, no, this is a space only for men. And they're like, no, we want to be there. What can we do to be there? And I said, no, it's just for men. So I work with men for 6 months. In these 6 months, I'm their mentor, and I help them to take a look at their life to see where are they in this moment and where do they want to be. And I help them to fill that gap. And usually when you cannot achieve something, there is a cause. So I take them to the root and I understand what is the root. And with the techniques that I have, we solve the root and they have clear way to achieve what they want. So it's a group program, and there are men in there who are on the same path. There is a lot of support, and also we have weekly group calls, and there we can have questions. Also, we can do specific exercises who helps the group to unlock or to evolve. And it's a very strong program because I will give an example. It's not a very happy one, but it's a true one. And I always choose the truth. A client of mine lost his father because of COVID. And he just wrote me and said, Florentina, I want to thank you for all the work we have done together, because in this hard moment where all my family is down, I have the strength, the power, and the balance to be the man I need to be to support everybody in this situation. And I'm sure that wouldn't been possible in the past if I haven't done all the work that I have done with myself and working together. And I'm grateful for that. And it was really touching for me because I was like, oh my God, this is really impactful and it's really transforming men.
Yeah, I agree. So my other question is, you have been invited for TEDx. What did you speak about?
Oh my God, it was such a great and amazing experience, but in the same time scary, because I was speaking about how can you use energy to create the life that you want. So we did a prep like 3 or 4 months before. We had rehearsals, we had a coach, because not everybody goes to TEDx. It's like a very exclusive place. And the audience was quite big, around 300 people. And I was on the stage delivering my speech. And I had like one evil here and one angel here. And the evil was, you're not saying the speech right, this is not correct. And the angel was like, you do right, keep continue. And when I got off of the stage, I was crying. I said, oh my God, this is not good, I did it wrong, and so on. And I was crying. And the friend who was filming came to me and showed me the recording. And when I saw the recording, I said, oh my God, it's good, I'm okay, I'm chill now. And from that moment, I just got chilled and I said, okay, it's okay.
Okay, that has been amazing. What else would you like to add about the topic today, Florentina?
There are very challenging times right now, and it's a huge shift which is happening to all of us. And I think it's very important as a man to figure it out internally, because when you have a system of beliefs which is well set in place, when you know your path, when you communicate more with your intuition in your soul, there is a lot of things you can give, and you can also have balance and fulfillment and success in the same time. So usually I talk to men, and if the people around you want to text me on Messenger or on LinkedIn, I'm there to chat with them, also on Instagram. Usually I give a free session to the people I choose to work with, because I want to know the man before I work with him. I'm going to surround myself with these men for 6 months, and I want to make sure that I'm the right person helping them, and also they are the right men for me to work with. So I need to create very close and good relationship with all the people that are around me.
Sure. On behalf of all the men on earth, I really thank you for these great ideas and this great help you're doing to the second side of the equation. Thank you so much, Florentina, for this indeed.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.